So what I have done is I have just tried to put something from my experience. Okay. For example, in the first column, I'm just trying to put some categories. Of course, for a agile coach role, when you are changing the role, probably the categories or parameters also need to be changed. So whenever an interviewer is trying to ask you, okay, now let us take the example of a agile coach or a agile consultant kind of a role for now. We can come back to project manager, product owner, product manager sometime later. Now whenever you are appearing for, let's say, for an agile coach role, as soon as a question is being shooted from the interviewer, you need to have a clarity whether that particular question is at a team level or at a program level or at a portfolio level or at a leadership level, and which particular aspect or dimension or parameter the interviewer is trying to get to know from you, right? If we are not able to, put it in the correct category, then probably you will tell something, interviewer will be expecting something from you. So what I thought is that when I was just trying to put my thoughts, you folks may need to create a grid like this and then keep it ready also. Okay, though not a physical grid, something, no, at least at your mind mapping level, you need to have a clarity. Now, if you see the last point, last but not the least, recently I have added AI or a Gen AI touch point. Why? Any interview for that matter going forward, 100% the interviewer will be asking you, had you worked on AI? Be it a Scrum Master, be it an Agile coach, be it a project or a program manager, product owner, product manager, Agile transformation lead, consultant, RTE, any kind of a role, definitely this question is going to be there. So you may need to prepare well for that. Or if you have not done anything on the AI, at least go and talk to people who have done something on the AI, try to understand things from them, and what is the benefit that particular utility. It could be an accelerator, it could be an enabler, it could be any kind of a utility which, when plugged on to the client landscape, improves the operational efficiency, curtails the turnaround time, shoots up the productivity in a sustained manner, right? If not, why are we doing it in the first place? So, j- just to make a long story short, if you had developed any kind of a AI related capability or a component, well and good. If not, you need to go to people who have already done it, have some conversation with them, understand why it is being used, before it is getting deployed, what are the metrics, and after it is getting deployed, what are the same metrics, the numbers will get changed, right? That is how you compare, no, before after. And that gap analysis is going to tell the value derivation of that particular AI component or a utility. This is something you folks need to prepare anyway. Okay, role agnostic, like we used to tell, no, in agile world, framework agnostic, independent of the framework. So independent of the role, definitely you may need to prepare this. So I just want, when you take a look into this particular grid, right, what other thoughts came to your mind? Can you please put it in the chat? It's a simple grid, so that any question comes, you can take and put it in the respective row column intersection. So please go ahead and put your thoughts there. When you had a look into that grid, what new aspects came to your mind? Just trying to read the chat. RACI, okay. Okay. See, many things are simple only, but what ultimately matters is, are we doing it or not? No. If you want to make a YouTube video on anything, you can also make a YouTube video and post it. But had you done it or not is the question, right? So from that perspective, this particular grid I was just trying to encapsulate, so that irrespective, once you have the category, see this particular grid you can also envision for your JD. You take your JD, try to juxtapose your JD with this grid, and then see which particular parameter has what weightage point, and customize your preparation. Okay, now I'll just read the chat for a minute and then I will get to the next slide. Holistic exposure. Okay. Okay. Clarity to answer. For each of these grids, which level of expertise do I stand? That's a very good point. Prasanna has written for each of this grid, which level of expertise do I stand? Yes, category the answer. Keeping the answer to what level? Crisp to impress the interviewer and getting an edge. Good. Okay. Now, okay. Now, before I go to the next slide, right? 1 minute wait. Okay, fine. So, before I go to the next slide, now I had shown you people a small grid, a kind of a template for a agile coach role. Similarly, if you want to develop a template for an agile project manager role, what will be the aspects to consider? Can you just do some thinking now, right now? Because if you are able to think now, it will be a simulation for your interview. In the interview, we cannot tell, give me time, I will think. Of course, you can tell that, can I take a couple of minutes? But in the interview, you cannot tell that, I will come back after 1 hour and then I will answer. No, right now you may need to think. You take that grade. If I want to do it for project manager, then probably what could be the rows and the columns? So what happens in the project management world? It is again triple constraints of the project, right? Scope, cost, and time. And you have something called as a PMI process areas also, right? Now with that understanding, if you are creating a grid, probably what is that you will put in the table? Let's see what answers come. See, these things are important, okay? It is not enough if you just getting to know the answer to your question, right? Okay, what are the metrics safe supports? You go and do a chat GPT that will tell you what are the metrics Kanban supports. Your Google will tell you, but the interviewer question is what you did with that metrics. They are not asking you just what that metrics are. Having been said that you understood the metrics, you have worked on the metrics, how did you resonated with the metrics to improve something? That is the actual intention behind the question. Okay, so Prasanna gives some thoughts for now. I'm just going through one by one. Stakeholder management. Okay. Okay. Project program complexity, customer satisfaction. Okay, now let's go to the next slide now. We'll see what thoughts I have put over there. From there, we will slowly shift the gear. So what is that I have put over here? Something like this, right? Hope you are able to see. Plan-driven approach, adaptive approaches, hybrid model, and in the row, I have put the PMI process areas.